Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. I'm Rick Olson and we're getting ready to bring you a girls then boys doubleheader of high school basketball on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2, featuring the Colfax Vikings taking on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves in a Dun St. Croix Conference girls matchup, followed by the Colfax Vikings facing the conference-leading Spring Valley Cardinals in a boys contest. Now tonight, the 11-5 Colfax Vikings, who are 6-3 in the Dun St. Croix Conference, will open our doubleheader as they host the 1-16 Elmwood Plum City Wolves, who are 0-9 in the Dun St. Croix. The Vikings are coming off an impressive 51-36 victory over the River Falls Wildcats last night, while the Wolves are still searching for their first conference win of the season following a 73-18 loss to the Boyceville Bulldogs on Friday. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Wolves and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Sarar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Then we'll take a quick look around the Dun St. Croix Conference to see where things stand. Following that, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. We're getting ready to bring you all the action of one of tonight's girls then boys doubleheader games as the 0-9 Elmwood Plum City Wolves battle with the 6-3 Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are coming off a 51-36 win over the River Falls Wildcats last night, while the Wolves were defeated by the Boyceville Bulldogs 73-18 on Friday. Now, in that win over River Falls, the Vikings battled evenly with the Wildcats in the first half, taking a narrow lead into halftime. However, late in that first half, Viking senior captain Kason Goodell was injured. Now, this seemed to motivate the Vikings as they came out of halftime taking control of the game and fought their way to the win. Now, leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was junior Jordan Bovey, who hit on 5 field goals, including a 3-pointer, as well as hitting on 5 of 7 attempts from the charity stripe for 16 points. She was followed by Goodell, who prior to her injury late in the first half, hit on 4 field goals, including a 3-pointer, as well as 2 for 3 from the charity stripe for 11 points. Juniors Bryn Sikora and Sierra Shipman added 10 and 9 points, respectively. Now, tonight, the Vikings get back into Dun St. Croix Conference play by taking on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Last season, the Vikings swept the Wolves by scores of 81-24 and 75-17. The Wolves are a young team with nearly half their roster made of freshmen and sophomores. Now, this season, the Wolves have been struggling and are still looking for their first conference win of the season. They are scoring an average of 30 points per game while giving up an average of 52. Leading the way scoring for the Wolves is sophomore Allison Save, who's averaging over 7 points per game. She's followed by freshman Polly Webb, who's contributing nearly 6 points per game. Juniors Ellie Maxwell and Maddie Kopp, along with sophomore Aurora Sampier, lead the Wolves in rebounding, with each pulling down around 5 boards per game. Now, the Vikings so far this season are being led in scoring by Jordan Bovey, who's averaging over 15 points per game. She's being followed by senior Kaysen Goodell, who's averaging nearly 12 points per game. Bryn Sikora and Sierra Shipman are each contributing an average of 9.5 points per game. Now, on the boards, Sikora is pulling down 6 rebounds per game, while Shipman and Goodell are each grabbing just 5.5. Now, coming up, following this brief timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrara on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking pregame on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again today, we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrara. And Coach, in just a few minutes, the Vikings are going to get back into Dun St. Croix conference play when they take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. But before we get to that game, last night the Vikings battled with a team 2 divisions above the Vikings, and your girls came away winners 51-36. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I thought our defense was really good. I thought we played hard. We weathered their storm. I knew they were going to make a little comeback, and we were able to, hold off, their little push and make some free throws down the stretch. And I was, just happy with how my kids played.
Prior to that game last night, I had asked you about the Vikings and their composure. And last night, they had the opportunity to demonstrate their composure when senior captain Kaysen Goodell had to leave the game due to an injury. The Vikings seemed to rally in support of Kaysen and took control of the game. Your thoughts about their ability to do that?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt, Kaysen's a great kid. She's everything you'd ask for, in a senior captain and a leader. And, she plays, the whole game, all game almost every time. And, when kids have to step up in her absence, it just shows, that, what kind of leader she is and how she has them, prepared for the game. And, there was no doubt, that everybody was feeling a little down, for sure, at first. But, like I said, the game still had to be played, and I was, happy with the way that we were able to, respond in her absence, and we didn't crumble and we didn't look scared or defeated. So it was good to see that reaction, after Kaysen's injury.
It appeared as though the Vikings showed improvement in battling under the basket last night, especially in the rebounding area. Your comments about that development?
Yeah, we talked a lot about second half, how if Clara comes over to help, then somebody else has to sink and help her. We always talk about helping the helper and, quick to help, quick to recover. I thought we did a nice job underneath the basket for being, pretty undersized, especially if Clara wasn't in the game. So, I really challenged him to get a body on number 12. She's a big girl. You can't jump with her. You got to box out.
I was really impressed with the play of Lyric Nichols, who had to play a lot of minutes, more than usual, last night. And she didn't play like a freshman. She was right there with the upperclassmen. Your thoughts about her abilities?
Yeah, Lyric is, growing into, and she's going to be a great player. She's still got a lot to learn. She's still got a lot to work on, but I've been impressed with her, just overall toughness. It's hard when you're thrown to the dogs, especially on the schedule that we play. And there's a reason there's not a lot of freshmen playing. And she responds well, and she does a good job keeping her composure. So, yeah, I was impressed with. She was more aggressive and looked for her ability to score, and she did a good job on the defensive end.
Speaking of young, tonight the Vikings are going to get back into Dunn St. Croix Conference play by taking on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, who appear to be a pretty young team. What can you tell us about the Wolves?
Yeah, I think they have a lot of young, inexperienced players. They've been trying to put pieces together with what they have. So we just, like I told the girls last night, we never want to worry about, what someone else is doing. We always just have to worry about us and play our game, and we're just trying to get better. So.
And you know that these young kids as individuals are going to come out and challenge every chance they get, and you just have to be ready to play it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just want to stick to our game plan and continue to take steps in the right direction so that, we can be playing our best basketball here towards the end of February.
Well, that brings up my next thought. With only 8 games, counting tonight, remaining in the Vikings regular season, how do you see the Vikings fitting into both the conference race as well as the WIAA regionals?
It's hard because I feel like with the automatic seeding, my guesses in the past few years haven't been correct. So, I imagine, in the playoffs, we'll probably get like a 4 seed as what I'm kind of hoping for. So I really think that, we can beat Durand for a tie for the second place in the conference, but it's going to take our best basketball, and, we'll just have to go from there.
Well, Coach Sarrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully, the Vikings can build the momentum as needed as the season starts to wind down.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. 4 teams of the Dunn St. Croix Conference were involved in non-conference action last night. Taking a look at those results from those games, we find the Vikings facing the River Falls Wildcats, with the Vikings coming out on top 51-36. It was the Elk Mound Mounders hosting the Cadott Hornets, with the Mounders coming away with the 71-20 win. The Ellsworth Panthers traveled to Mondovi and faced the Buffaloes in a defensive battle, with the Buffaloes emerging victorious 35-32, while the Glenwood City Hilltoppers welcomed the Spooner Rails, with the Hilltoppers coming out on top 59-39. Now, coming into this week, the Dunn St. Croix Conference standings are as follows. In first place are the unbeaten at 10-0 Elk Mound Mounders. 2 games back in second place are the Durand, Arkansas Panthers at 8-2, while the Mondovi Buffaloes at 7-3 are 3 games off the pace. They're sitting in third place. The Colfax Vikings are in fourth at 6-3, just 3.5 games out, while fifth place sees the Boyceville Bulldogs at 3-6, and the Spring Valley Cardinals at 3-7 are in sixth place. Seventh place finds the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, while the Elmwood Plum City Wolves are in 8th. Tonight, the only Dunn St. Croix Conference girls game is the Vikings playing host to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves in a makeup from December 19th. We also find the Boyceville Bulldogs stepping out of conference play to host the Chautauqua Weyerhaeuser Bulldogs. Now, tonight, the Vikings are looking to build the momentum they need heading into the WIAA regional tournament, only a couple of weeks away. However, we'll have to see how they rally together following the injury to Goodell. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball. And we'll have all the action for you right here on NLWN-TV and NLWN2 as part of our Girls Then Boys doubleheader. Now in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Colfax High School as we bring you all the action of Game 1 of tonight's Girls Then Boys doubleheader with the Colfax Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV and NLWN2.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking Girls Basketball is on the air.
Back over to Sierra Shipman. She spins at the top of the key, takes it into the lane, lays it up and puts it in. Sierra Shipman with her first 2 points of the night.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN-TV, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Girls Basketball.
Then over to the left side to Jordan, lays it up and puts it in.
Join us as we follow the Vikings as they battle their way through the Dun St. Croix Conference.
To Goodell from three, she'd hit the three!
And now, out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
Trying to bring you, there we go, I'm getting some volume now. Trying to bring you Colfax High School basketball as the Vikings are going to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. The Wolves come into tonight's game with no wins and but we're having some argument with our equipment here tonight. It just has a little different sound. No, it's not so much the sound, it keeps cutting out. Oh, Vikings come in with a 6-3 record in the Dun St. Croix Conference, and they just picked up a non-conference win over the River Falls Wildcats last night. There was a fast sweep last night, Dan. Yeah, it was. That was huge. 51-36, playing up 2 divisions. So I'm Rick Olson along with Dan Fetshaw, and we have Michael Christensen on the camera. And this is game 1 of our doubleheader today. Game 2 will be the Viking boys taking on the Spring Valley Cardinals. And Jay Fall will be here to give you the play-by-play on that one. So as we get ready for this one, Dan, why don't you run through the starting lineups? Okay, here's Elmwood Plum City Wolves. They're going to go with freshman number 1, Polly Level. Sophomore number 5, Alice Avi. Sophomore number 10, Aurora Sampier. Freshman number 14, Addison Zillinger. And junior number 22, Ellie Maxwell. For the Vikings, they're going to go junior number 12, Jordan Bovey. Freshman number 24, Laird Nichols. Junior number 30 was Sarah Shipman. Junior number 34, Bryn Sikora. Junior number 44, Clara Haldukovic. And that is a slight change in the Viking lineup tonight as we're dealing with the injury last night of Tucson Goodell. Still no word on that. The further evaluation needs to be made, but we won't see her play for the remainder of this week. And then we're keeping our fingers crossed that it's nothing too serious. So we've got a little bit of time before the start of this one. So what we're going to do is take a break and hear a word from a couple of our sponsors as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit dairystatebank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Send it down to the scores table. Public address announcer Mike Hodell as we get ready for tonight's game. Not really confident run out of dog night tonight. Behind us, check things out, and hopefully hear things. You are just about ready to get started. I see Mike Hodell tries to check his microphone. Remlings are tonight. And I see he's coming across the floor because we have to do some adjusting of his sound equipment. And so, so he is headed down towards the stores table now. So supposedly he has things turned in. So we're getting ready for the national anthem. Yes. And it appears as though our cloud mic is not functioning the way we were hoping. So, the starting lineup shows Michael Edwards up. And so there's something sophomore. So good. That's a sophomore. Harrison Zalager, which was right in the show. Surviving for conviction. Okay, now we see this here being shaped and beginning in the house. Where's the Wolves out on the floor, and the Vikings are now coming out on the floor. Clara Hajdukovic is getting ready to jump center, and she's going to jump against, it's hard to tell, official standing right in the way. She was jumping against Aurora Sampier, and the Vikings control the ball. Jordan Bovey with it. Leads it over to the right side to Sikora. Tries to drive the lane. Ball gets stripped away from her by Webb. And down the floor she comes, feeds it over to the left side to Sauve. Back out high to Webb. She dribbles it out between the circles. Over to the right side. That's Zillinger. Back out to Sauve. Sauve drives down the left side of the lane, puts it up, it's off the board, no good. Bovey with the ball, she brings it quickly down the floor, solo flight, and gets cut off, feeds it back out to Sikora. Sikora with the ball, stops, tries to feed it into the lane, and it gets knocked away by the Wolves. And down the floor comes Sauve. Or check that, Sauve has it now, that was Webb, Webb has it. And they try to feed it into the lane, picked up by the Vikings, a little bit ragged right now. Yeah, I think it'll take a little bit to get their legs just because they played last night. And the ball gets knocked out of bounds off the Wolves. Vikings will keep it. Lyric Nichols to inbound for the Vikings. High pass comes into Shipman. Shipman cross-court pass over to Hajdukovic, into the lane to Bovey, turnaround jumper. She puts it in. Gordon Bovey with the two. And down the floor come the Wolves. This is Zillinger to try to feed it underneath to Maxwell. It gets knocked out of bounds. Wolves will maintain possession. Holly Webb to inbound. She gets it into Maxwell. Vikings take it away. And Bovey down the floor. Bovey takes it down the left side of the lane, gets it to Nichols, drives into the lane, out to Sikora, puts up the jump shot. She hit the three. Bryn Sikora with the three-pointer, 5-0 Vikings on top. Webb through the center circle, takes it over to the right side. Feeds it into the lane. Shot goes up by Sauve. No good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. She gets it out to Bovey. Bovey across the timeline. Down the left side to Shipman. Shipman out to Hajdukovic. Into the lane, shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. They feed it over to the left side. This is Save with it, high, wide, and left. Now between the circles to Zillinger. Zillinger gets it over to Webb on the right. Free throw line extended. Tries to pass it, got off a leg, but the Wolves pick it up. Save puts up the shot, no good. Rebound hauled down by Maxwell and then gets it back out to Webb. To Save. Save on the left, gets it out between the circles to Zillinger. Zillinger to Webb. Free throw line extended to the right. She dribbles it back out high, out between the circles to Zillinger. Over to Save, takes it to the free throw line, into the lane, gets tied up, and we're going to have a jump ball called as Sikora tied it up. And the Wolves will have the ball. Pass comes into Sampier. Then over to Save, and now down to Webb on the left side. She takes it out between the circles, keeps going over towards the right to Zillinger. On the right side, back up between the circles to Webb. To the left side to Save. Lays it up, puts it in. Allie Save with the first 2 points for the Wolves. Lovey with it. She feeds it over to Sikora. And now they get it down underneath. Sikora lays it up, puts it in. Green Sikora with 2 more. 7-2, Vikings on top. Ollie Webb on the dribble. Feeds it down underneath, and it gets tipped away by the Vikings. Lyric Nichols got a hand on it. Sikora picks it up, gets it to Bovey. Bovey down the left side, takes it down to the baseline, turns around in the lane, puts it in. Jordan Bovey with 2. Ollie Webb coming across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side to Save. Save into the lane to Sampier. She turns, takes it into the lane, puts it up and off the glass and in. 9-4, Vikings up by 5. 13:22 remaining. Lyric Nichols drives towards the lane, but they say she took an extra step before she put the ball down. So the Wolves have it. Webb on the dribble, takes it towards the center circle, still in the backcourt, now feeds it into the forecourt to Save on the left side. Gets it back to Webb, takes it between the circles, ball gets knocked loose into the backcourt, picked up by Bovey for the Vikings. Feeds it over to Shipman, lays it up, and then puts it in. Sierra Shipman with 2. So Webb has it, tries to feed it down to the right side. The pass is intercepted by Lyric Nichols, and she gets it to Sikora, who comes up across the timeline. Takes it down the right side. Then it gets battled for. Finally, Hajdukovic gets it, feeds it out to Bovey, puts it up no good. Rebound chased down by Sikora. Sikora out to Nichols. Nichols takes it to the top of the key, back over to Sikora on the near side. Takes it down to the baseline, feeds it over to Bovey. Bovey in the lane, feeds it out to Nichols. Nichols drives into the lane, she lays it up, it won't go in, and it gets tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Wolves. So the Vikings will maintain possession. Vikings up on top, 11-4. Lyric Nichols to inbound. Feeds it into Hajdukovic. Out to Shipman. Shipman drives into the lane. She puts it up. It won't go, but she drew the foul. And that foul is going to be on Willow Crate, who just checked into the lineup. Shipman's first shot is up and good. Checking in for the Vikings is Adeline Acker for Hajdukovic. Second shot on the way off the front of the air, no good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. Ollie Webb on the dribble. Feeds it over to the left side. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Nichols. And down the floor, she brings it. Gets it over to Bovey at the top of the key. Over to the right side to Shipman. Then to the lane to Sikora. Back out to Shipman. Shipman head and shoulders fake. Then gets it back out to Sikora. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Found tipped out of bounds by the Wolves. It'll be Vikings ball.
Yeah, good job by Colfax getting in there and getting second chance opportunities.
Bovey drives into the lane, and ball got blocked, and down the floor come the Wolves. Cripe with it, feeds it down underneath, and the shot goes up and in, and that was by Aurora Sampier.
Sampier is 4 points. Sampier.
And a three-pointer by Sierra Shipman. Wolves have it. 15-6, Vikings up by 9. They get it over to the left side. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound tipped around. And it's being fought for down there. And it's going to be a travel being called against the Wolves. Because Maddie Pop had the ball. And then she tried to stand up with it. She was down on her knees. She tried to stand up. And that's a travel.
Yeah, she didn't have anywhere to go.
So Jordan Bovey across the timeline. Feeds it to the right elbow and then down into the lane to Sikora. It's tipped back out. Shipman chases it down to Nichols. To Sikora. Back out to Nichols. Over to Acker. Shot is up. No good. Rebound chased down by Shipman. Over to Sikora. Back out to Acker at the top of the key. Feeds it across court to Nichols. Nichols gets it out to Bovey. Bovey drives into the lane. Gets it out to Sikora. Fake the three-pointer. Feeds it over to the right side to Bovey. Into the lane to Shipman. She got tripped going up. And she's going to go to the line for two. That's going to be a foul on Maddie Kopp. So Shipman's first shot is good. Clara Hajdukovic back into the lineup for the Vikings. Giving Nichols a break. Second shot on the way. It's also good. Vikings up by 11, 17-6. 9:55 remaining in the first half. Ollie Webb feeds it over to the right side. That's Ingley. Down low to Kopp. She's in the lane, being battled for under there. It's picked up down there by Sampier, and its shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. She gets it over to Bovey. Bovey across the timeline. Bovey feeds it over to the left side to Acker. Then to Sikora, then into the lane to Shipman, who lays it up and in. And we get a timeout call by the Wolves. 19-6, Vikings on top, 9:19 to go, and we're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2.
To get your lawn or garden to perform and attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Wolves with the ball. They quickly come down the floor, feed it down underneath. Kopp puts the shot up. It's no good. It gets tipped. It goes out of bounds. It will be Viking ball.
Got good, Mark. More good defense by Colfax.
So Bovey brings it across the timeline, directs a little bit of traffic, gives it to Acker at the top of the key, feeds it over to Shipman. Shipman over to Bovey on the right side. She's wide on the right wing. Takes it back out high, gives it to Acker. Then down to the left side to Shipman, puts up the three. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound, chased down by the Wolves. That was Ingley. And she gets it off to Webb. Webb feeds it over to the near side to Sauve. Then down low to Sampier, back out to Webb, and then to Ingley. Now they're over on the right side, and this is Sampier. Into the lane to Kopp, puts the shot up, no good. Follow-up is no good, and rebound is tipped out of bounds. It will be Viking ball. Vikings bring the ball down the floor. They feed it over to the near side. Shipman has it now on the far side, then to Sikora. Ball gets tipped by Hajdukovic, and Bovey picks it up. Wolves are Acker.
Wolves are in zone.
And they drive down to the baseline, back out to Bovey, to Acker, three-pointer. She hit the three. Adeline Acker with a three. 22-6, Vikings on top. Webb with it, feeds it over to the right side. That's to Ingley. She dishes it off to Sampier. Back out to Webb, over to Sauve, to Ingley on the left side. This is Sampier down on the left baseline. Feeds it to Kopp in the lane. She went up and she took a hop, came back down before she could get rid of the ball. Maxwell checking back in for the Wolves. And the Vikings bring the ball down the floor. Jordan Bovey on the dribble right through the center C. To Acker, to Bovey, to Shipman. Cross-court pass over to Acker. She puts up another three off the front of there. No good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. They get it back over to Acker, to Bovey, to Shipman. Feeds it to Sikora, puts the shot up. It's no good. Rebound taken away by the Wolves. Down the floor comes Sauve. She lays it up. It's off the iron. No good. Rebound, and we have a foul being called on Bryn Sikora. That's the first foul on the Vikings. First foul on Sikora. Ball comes over to Zillinger and then down to Webb. Webb looks to feed it, and she was going to feed it. She thought Sauve was going to break towards the corner, and Sauve took 2 steps and cut back the other way, but the ball was already in the air. Bovey with the ball, across the center line. To Acker, to Bovey, to Acker, to Bovey. Bovey drives into the lane, gets it out to Shipman, puts up a three. She hit the three. Sierra Shipman, 25-6. Vikings up by 19.
13 points for Sierra Shipman.
Webb feeds it down low to Zillinger. She's covered down there by Shipman. Back out to Webb. Over to Sauve. Sauve puts it to the floor, dribbles down the left side, puts it up. It's partially blocked by Hajdukovic. It's out of bounds. Wolves keep the ball. Webb gets it in, and it was to Sauve, and then out to Zillinger, puts up the three. No good. Rebound by Sikora. She gets it to Bovey. Stops at the top of the key, out to Hajdukovic. To Acker, to Shipman, to Bovey. Three-pointer on the way, off the iron, no good. So Webb has the ball, across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side, that's Sauve. Out to Zillinger. Zillinger feeds it over to the right wing to Webb, to Save out near the top of the key. Ball got over to Zillinger on the left side, almost intercepted. And then the pass gets over towards Webb and goes out of bounds. You know, the fact that that almost got intercepted probably affected that pass.
Yeah, you know, Colfax defense is just a little better right now, and it's kind of frustrating the Wolves.
So Acker has moved over to point guard, and now the ball gets thrown over towards Shipman, and just a little bit off on the pass. Goes out of bounds. Out there right now for the Vikings, we have Acker, Shipman, Sikora, Hajdukovic, and Nichols. Webb with the ball, gets it over to Save. Shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Acker. She brings it into the forecourt on the right side, hands it off to Sikora, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound taken away by the Wolves. That was Maxwell on that rebound. Gets it to Webb, who brings it down the floor. They feed it over to the right side to Zillinger, back out to Webb, between the circles, over to Save on the left. Down into the left side of the lane, shot goes up, it's no good. That shot was by Sampier, and the Vikings come away with the ball. Quickly down the floor, Shipman gets it out to Hajdukovic. Now they swing it around, back over to Shipman, to Sikora, out to Nichols, puts up the three, and she hit the three. Lyric Nichols with a three. 28-6, Vikings on top. And down the floor come the Wolves. They feed it to Sampier, tries to put the shot up, closely guarded by Acker, and she does get the shot up over the outstretched arms of Acker, and it crawled over the rim and in. Vikings up by 20. First point scored. And Hajdukovic has it. They get it back out high to Acker. To Shipman, shot is no good. Rebound saved inbounds, but into the hands of the Wolves. And we're going to get a timeout call by the Wolves as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Back here at Colfax High School, Rick Olson, Dan Petchow, Michael Christensen on the camera. Vikings on top, 28-8, with just about 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Sampier takes it across the timeline, and they're going to get her for, well, they called her for a travel. To be honest with you, Dan, I thought it was a double dribble. I thought she dribbled when she caught it and then put it back to the floor again.
Yeah, that's what I saw, but
either way, it goes over to the Vikings. Bovey with it, between the circles, feeds it over to the right side, back out to Bovey, then over to Acker, then to Sikora, puts up the three, no good. Rebound, hauled down out of there by Ingley. And they get it over to Kreit. Kreit feeds it over to the right side to Ingley, then down to Save with the shot. It's no good.
And Bovey comes away with it. Feeds it over to the left side to Nichols. Back out to Bovey. Bovey with a three-pointer on the way. She can get the three. Jordan Bovey with a three. 31-8, Vikings on top.
Bovey has 7 points.
And the Wolves have it with Sauve. Then they feed it into the lane. Then out over to the right side. Three-pointer on the way is no good by Zellinger. They get the ball back. Zillinger has it at the top of the key. Then over to Ingley. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound. Chased down by Zillinger, and we're going to get a jump ball, and it'll be Vikings ball with the possession arrow. Shipman checking back in for the Vikings, giving Bryn Sikora a break. Vikings play again in 2 days, so I suspect to see a lot of rotating players through just to try to keep legs fresh, especially after a game last night. Bovey with the ball, gets it over to Acker, down into the corner to Shipman. Ball gets tipped out of bounds, and it will be still Viking ball. Getting a hand on it was Ada Ingley. So Nichols feeds it in. Shot goes up by Shipman. She got fouled going up.
Supposed to be on 21 for the Wolves.
That will be Willow Kripe. That's her second personal. Third team foul on the Wolves. First shot is up. It's good. And the second shot. It's on its way. It rolls around. It's good.
Sears.
Minute 25 to go in half number one.
Sears 5 for 6 from the line tonight.
Kripe has it over on the right side, high, wide, and right. Now she drives down the right side, feeds it down to the baseline. Shot goes up, and it's no good by Sauve. And the Vikings right back down the floor. Shipman feeds it to Bovey. Bovey lays it up, overlays it. Hajdukovic comes down with it, gets it out to Nichols. Nichols thought about the three, and then over to Acker. Her shot's no good, but Hajdukovic follows up and puts it in. We're under a minute to go. 35-8, Vikings on top. They feed it over to the right side to Sauve, down into the lane. We're going to get a foul called on Hajdukovic. I think Clara needs to just stay on her feet sometimes. She went up to try to do something about it. Pass comes in and shot goes in. That was Ellie Maxwell on the shot.
Ellie's first 2 points of the night.
Nichols has it, gets it out to Bovey. Over to Acker, to Bovey, to Nichols. Launches a three. She hit the three again. Lyric Nichols with a three. 38-10. Vikings on top. Kripe high, wide, and right for the Wolves. Feeds it down low to Sauve. Tries to put a shot up. It's intercepted. And a long shot. Oh, off the back of the iron that time by Bovey. But that gets us to halftime, and the score, Vikings 38 and the Wolves 10. We have Viking halftime coming up with Clara Hajdukovic as our Viking profile. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
All right, today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Clara Hajdukovic, and you're a junior here at Colfax?
Yep.
Okay, and we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Volleyball and track and field.
And what do you do in track and field?
I throw discus and shot put.
Very good, you're in the power sports.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I think I started playing around 3rd, 4th grade, something like that. It's been good. It's allowed me to connect with people in my class and other classes, so it's a good team sport.
Okay, great. What is the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Communication and attitude.
Okay, and both of those can really make the difference between a team that gets it together and a team that, you can't be a bunch of individuals out there. You got to be a team, right?
Yep.
Those are the two keys to it. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I read. I don't know. I read, and then I have other sports that I do during the basketball season.
Okay, all right. What are some of those?
Last year I played club volleyball, and I practiced disc and shot put year round.
Okay, all right. All right, here, this is coming. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Probably a good pie.
A good pie. And what is your favorite kind of good pie?
Cherry or rhubarb.
Okay, and I noticed you said rhubarb and not strawberry rhubarb. And yeah, I'm with you on that. I like strawberry pie, I like rhubarb pie. Don't put them together. Just make it one or the other, right? Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with you on that. Burger, brats, or hot dogs?
Probably a burger.
And what do you want on that burger?
Everything.
Put everything. Kitchen sink, everything.
Yep.
Just, if you can put it on there, put it on. All right. Yep. Your favorite color and why?
Green. I don't know. I just like it.
All right. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that superpower might be and why?
Shape-shifting.
Ooh, interesting choice. Why would that be?
Because you can be anything.
Okay. All right. Now, if you had the superpower of shape-shifting, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Clara's superhero name?
I don't know. I don't know. I would have to be named by the people,
Okay. All right. And that might depend on what shape you chose to be at that time. All right. Favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Lynx.
Okay, very good. The Minnesota Lynx. How about a favorite collegiate team?
Texas Longhorns.
Okay. All right. And if you could sit down with a sports personality from any time in history and just pick their brain a little bit, who do you think that might be and why?
Caitlin Clark.
Okay. And is there a particular reason why you chose Caitlin?
I think she's kind of leading the sports in the modern world for women. So.
Okay. Very good. That's a pretty good reason. We're talking with Clara Hajdukovic on Viking Profile. And Clara, what are your plans for after high school?
Probably attend a 4-year college for something related to biology.
Okay. How about a shout out to the family?
Just naming them.
That's up to you.
Hi to my sister and brothers.
Okay.
I guess.
Sure, that works. When people come to Viking games, where should they look for you on the floor?
In the post, probably.
Okay.
Blocks.
Somewhere down under the basket trying to make something happen down there.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. We want to thank Clara Hajdukovic for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Losing the fear of looking foolish comes with age.
Who did you steal him from?
Losing your way in your own home doesn't. Confusion with time and place may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Mom, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy told him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
To Colfax High School. Rick Olson here along with Van Petschow. And the Vikings have a 38-10 lead at halftime. Dan, why don't you fill us in on those numbers? The scores right now for the Plum City Wolves. They're led by two girls. Callie Savi, she has 4, and Aurora Sanmira has 4. And Ellie Mitchell has 2. They're the Vikings. They're led right now by there's over 30 here. She has 15 points. We have Ellen Apple with 3. We have Jordan Bowie with 7. And Merck Nichols with 6. She had Vince Pearl at 5. And Farrah Hazikovic with 2. 38-10 Colfax leads. Okay, and as you can see, we still have not the best audio tonight. I apologize for that, but we'll move along and do the best we can. Yeah, I think, Colfax right now, their defense is just a little better than the Wolves. Colfax is getting second, third choice runs, the offensive boards, and that's the number of the group. Well, at this rate, I expect to see a lot of the Colfax players get some playing time, some meaningful playing time tonight. Yeah, that's kind of a big week for the girls. You know, if for no other reason, it'll keep those legs fresh because they got another game in just 2 days. Yeah, those next 2 weeks are kind of crucial here in the events of core, and everything will start getting sorted out. And also, hopefully, for the seeding come the regional. Country Wolves will start out with the ball. Holly Webb to inbound it. She's going to get it over to Zillinger. And she feeds it in, gets it right back from Zillinger. They feed the ball over to the left side, and it gets tipped out of bounds by Sikora. That's an example of what you're talking about, Dan. The Vikings are just a step ahead as far as anticipating things and getting hands on the ball.
Yeah, Wolves have to make sure their passes.
Right. Save has it down in the right corner. Takes it to the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. She gets it over to Bovey. Bovey through the center circle. Over to the left side to Shipman, back out to Bovey, to Nichols, cross-court pass over to Shipman. Puts up the 3, she hit the 3.
Sierra's got the hot hand right now, Colfax.
She's got 18 points on the night. And a shot by Zillinger is no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. This is Boldle coming down the left side of the lane, feeds it underneath, shot goes up and in by Shipman.
The Wolves having a little trouble getting back on defense.
New season high for Shipman. She's got 20 points on the night. Feed it into the lane to Maxwell. Get it back out to Save. Save drives into the lane, puts a shot up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. To Bovey. Bovey stops between the circles, gets it over to Nichols on the right. Back to Bovey, over to Shipman. Into the lane from the free throw line comes Sikora, and she put it up and in. Bryn Sikora with 9 points. Holly Webb on the dribble. She feeds it over to the right side. That's Sampere, then down to Save, back to Sampere, puts the shot up, no good. And the Vikings come back down the floor. Bovey with it. She launches a three off the back of the air, no good. Save got the rebound, got it over to Webb, and she comes through the center C. Over to Sampere, then down to Save, down in the right corner. To Maxwell. Maxwell drives the baseline, puts it up, no good. We get a whistle and a foul.
Should be on 44 for Colfax.
That's going to be foul number 2 on Hajdukovic. And it's the first team foul on the Vikings in the second half. Ellie Maxwell at the line. First shot is up off the front of the iron, no good. And the second shot is on the way. That one rattles in. And we have a substitute coming in. That's Maddie Kopp coming in for Maxwell. 45-11, Vikings on top. Bovey across the timeline. Feeds it over to Shipman, then over to Nichols. Down to Hajdukovic at the baseline on the right side. Feeds it underneath to Bovey, puts it up, no good. Follow-up by Shipman is good. Holly Webb feeds it over to the right side. And they get it over to Save. Got it out. And they lost the handle, but Save got it back. Now they have it. Sampere drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken out by Sikora. Bovey feeds it over to the left side. To Shipman, back to Bovey, to Nichols. Cross-court pass over to Hajdukovic. She puts up a three high off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Bovey, feeds it underneath to Nichols, who put it up and in.
Yeah, good job by Bovey to find that open girl down low.
8 points for Lyric Nichols on the night. Save with it. She drives towards the lane, kicks it back out high, then over to Sampere, puts up this three-pointer, no good. Long lead pass down to Bovey. She lays it up. It's no good. Follow up by Sikora, and it rattles home.
Good score with 9 points tonight.
51-11. Vikings up by 40 with just under 14 minutes to go. We'll probably be heading to running time as soon as we hit that 9-minute mark. Webb feeds it over to Sampere, then to Save, then into the lane to Kopp, and then out high. The shot is no good off the glass. Rebound chased down in the corner by Polly Webb. They feed it down underneath, and it's out of bounds off of Sampere. So the Vikings will have it. Colby with the ball through the center circle. To Shipman. To Sikora. Out to Bovey. To Acker. Into the lane. The pass gets batted around. Sikora puts up, and she got fouled. Alexa Widener is also in the lineup for the Vikings.
Fouls at number 11 for the Wolves.
But Ada Ingley, that's her first team foul on the Wolves. Sikora's first shot is off the front of the iron, no good. Second shot on the way. Rattles around, no good. And Webb has the ball. She feeds it off to the left side. That's to Sampier. Ball gets saved in bounds right into the hands of the Wolves. And driving is Save. She puts it up, no good. Rebound taken away by the Vikings. Sikora dishes it off to Bovey. She gets it over to the left side to Acker. Then they feed it into the lane to Sikora. Her shot's no good. Put back up by Shipman is no good. And it's loose, out of bounds. And it will be the Wolves' ball. Ollie Webb across the timeline. She feeds it over to Ingley, then back out to Webb, then over to Sampier, down into the corner to Save. Save out to Webb. Then to Ingley, and then over to Sampier, who lost it out of bounds, but it had been tapped by the Vikings. Claire Nichols back in, along with Claire Hajdukovic. Ball comes in from Webb. She got it over to Kopp, and the shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Nichols. 12 minutes remaining. Shipman with it on the left side. Goes down to the baseline. Gets it back out to Acker. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound. Battle for putting it back up. It's no good by Shipman. Acker gets the rebound. She tries to go up and got fouled going up. Well, check that. That wasn't Acker. That was Widener. Okay. Closet number 30 for the Wolves. That was Maddie Kopp, her second. First free throw was no good by Widener. Maxwell and Kripe into the lineup for the Wolves. Shot is up. It's no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. She dribbles it back out high. Gets it over to Acker, to Shipman. Turnaround jumper by Widener, and it goes in. Alexa Widener with the two. Widener's first two of the night. Wolves have it over on the left side. That's Save, and then gets it down into the corner to Sampier. Back out high to Kripe. And then over to Save. And then to Sampier. Back out to Webb. And the pass gets intercepted. Down the floor comes Shipman. She backs back out again. Thought about taking the three, didn't do it. Acker with the ball, gets it over to Shipman. To Hajdukovic. And Shipman puts up a three. This time she hit the three. Back the ball moved by Colfax. If they're going to leave her that far alone, eventually she's going to take the shot.
25 points for Sierra so far.
56-11, Vikings on top. And we get a whistle and a jump ball being called. Nichols thought she got called for a foul, but she hit the ball and got spun around.
That's one thing about Colfax. They always got their hands in there.
And sometimes they get jump balls, sometimes they get fouls. Nichols has the ball, feeds it out to the free throw line. Now they swing it back around to Nichols. Out high to Acker, back to Nichols. Back to Acker. And to Nichols. They're just going to play some catch to Hajdukovic. Back out to Nichols. Right to the baseline. Back out to Acker and then to Hajdukovic. Feeds it into the lane. Shot goes up. Almost went through backwards. And putting it back up was Shipman, but she got fouled.
Yeah, this is good for Colfax to see a little 2-3 zone. They don't see that a lot. Everybody plays man-to-man, and
that foul, by the way, was on Ali Sabe. It was her first. Third team foul on the Wolves. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Second shot is good. So the Wolves bring the ball down the floor. They get it over to the right side. Now Webb has it on the left. They get it down to Maxwell, then over to Save from the three-pointer, no good. Rebound taken down by Nichols. Nichols comes down the floor. Takes it into the lane. Ball gets taken away. And it's the Wolves bringing it down the floor. They get it over to Save, high, widen left. Down underneath. That's Maxwell. She gets it back out to Sampere. And they get it over to Webb. She puts up the three. She hit the three. And we get a timeout on the floor with the Vikings leading 58-14 on NLWN-TV, NLWN-2, and Viking, or no, it's not Viking TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Vikings bring the ball down the floor. They feed it over to the left side. Hajdukovic has it. Back out to Nichols. She puts up a three. She hit the three. Eric Nichols with 11 points on the night.
She got 3 threes.
And the Wolves have it. Over on the left side, they get it back out high to Kripe. And then over to the near side to Webb. Webb feeds it into the lane. That's Maxwell, and the ball got knocked loose, and it's off the Wolves. It'll be Vikings ball. And this reminder that we do have another game coming up today. The Viking boys taking on the Spring Valley Cardinals. At the end of this game, we will have a very, very brief Viking post-game show, and then you'll have to sign out of YouTube and come back in when you see Game 2 is available. We have to switch some equipment around, so just be aware that we'll be back, and we'll get it done as quickly as we can, and we'll get back on the air for you to bring you Game 2. Vikings feed it down underneath the Hajdukovic, who lays it up and in.
There, Hajdukovic with 4 points tonight.
So Webb, the ball. They feed it down underneath. Webb tries to feed it over to Kopp, and they get it back out to Save, who puts the shot up. It's no good. And coming away with it for the Vikings is Raina Keltner. Keltner feeds it over to Nichols. Back out to Keltner. Back to Nichols. Down underneath to Widener. Her shot is up, no good. Rebound chased down by the Wolves. Webb with the ball. Takes it across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side to Save. Back out to Kripe between the circles. Over to the right side to Webb. Into the lane to Maxwell. Maxwell turns, puts it up, and puts it in. 63-16.
Maxwell with 5 points tonight.
Raina Keltner with the ball. She feeds it over to the right side to Acker, back to Keltner, to Hajdukovic, and she puts in a three. Adeline Acker She's got 2 threes, 6 points. Vikings up by 50. And Webb has it on the right side, takes it down to the baseline, feeds it back out to Maxwell, shots up no good. And the Vikings come away with it. This is Nichols on the dribble. Widener, then back out to Acker. Then they get it over to Keltner, to Hajdukovic. Back out to Widener, puts the shot up, and it rolls in. Alexa Widener.
She has 4 points tonight.
And that's a new high for her for the season. They get it over to the right side. Then they feed it down underneath the Sabe. She puts it up and in.
Yeah, good play there by the Wolves.
18.
Good play there by the Wolves. Sabe has 6 points.
Nichols has it. Out to Keltner. Over to Acker. Then to Keltner. Back to Acker. Hajdukovic up at the elbow looking for the ball, but they get it over to Nichols. Nichols has it on the left side. Back out high to Keltner. Keltner over to Acker. Back to Keltner. Vikings running a lot of clock to Hajdukovic. 3-pointer on the way. It's no good. Rebound by Nichols. They put the shot up. It's no good by Widener. And the rebound gets fought for, and the Wolves come away with it. Kripe has the ball, and they feed it over to Sam Pear. Shot goes up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. Keltner with it. Feeds it over to Nichols on the right. Back over to Keltner. Now over to Acker on the left, to Hajdukovic. Feeds it to Widener, driving in the lane, puts it up no good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. 4:20 remaining. Now they feed it down low, and that's Kripe with the ball, and we have a whistle and a foul. Foul's going to be on Acker. Hey, don't forget to join us on Thursday. We're going to have Viking basketball girls taking on these same Elmwood Plum City Wolves, only this time it'll be over in Elmwood. Coverage begins at 6:45 with Viking pregame, followed by live play-by-play on NLWN-TV.
Ari Hoffman comes in for Colfax.
Ingley with the ball for the Wolves. Gets it out to Zillinger, back over to Webb on the left side. She's high, wide, and left. Out to Sampier. Over to the near side to Zillinger. Back out high to Ingley. Then they feed it over to Sampier, who drives down to the baseline. And we're going to get a jump ball called as Widener got her tied up. Wolves will maintain possession. Also, don't forget to join us for the boys basketball, like right after this game is done. We'll have the boys against Spring Valley coming up for you. Wolves have it. Kick it back out to between the circles. That's Zillinger with it. Feeding it over to the near side to Webb. Back out high to Sampier. Over to the near side. That's Sampier with it. She put it up. The basket's going to count. And we have a foul.
Yeah, good strong move there by number 10, Aurora Sampier. Gets the end one.
The foul, I believe, yes, is going to be on Ari Hoffman. Shot goes up. It rolls off. No good. Rebound. Fouled up and in by Maddie Kopp.
Kopp's first 2 points of the night.
68-22. Vikings on top. Keltner has it. Gets it over to Nichols. Feeds it to the elbow. Widener puts it up no good. Rebound Taken down by the Wolves. Under 2 minutes to go. It's Zillinger with it. And we're going to get a timeout called. 68-22, Vikings on top, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit DairyStateBank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Wolves with the ball. Minute 34 remaining. They get the ball into Fessenmeyer. Now it's out to the top of the key to one I don't have the name for. Taking it around to the far side is Ingley. And they feed it back out high. That's Thalaker with the ball. Lexi Thalaker. She's on the JV roster. She's got it down in the right corner. Then they get it out to Ingley. They swing it around to Fessenmeyer and then to Thalaker. Under a minute to go. Out to Fessenmeyer. Over to Ingley. To Thalaker. Thalaker over to Fessenmeyer. Under 30. They feed it down toward the lane, but back out. Partially blocked shot. They put it back up. It's no good. Rebound chased down, and Fessenmeyer has it in the right corner. Feeds it down the baseline. We have the ball tied up, but it goes up by Kopp. No good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. Taking it into the lane and putting up the shot, and it's no good, and that's our final score. The final score, Vikings 68 and the Wolves 22. Stick around. We'll have Viking postgame coming up right after this timeout as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, where the Vikings have come away with a 68-22 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Viking girls go to a 7-3 record. The Wolves are now 0-10. Dan, why don't you tell us how we got those scores?
Yeah, here's scores tonight for the Plum City Wolves. Elmwood Wolves. They had number one Polly Webb. She had 3 points. We had Ellie Savi with 6. We had Aurora Sampier with 6. We had Ellie Maxwell with 5. And Maddie Kopp had 2. For the Vikings, they're led tonight by Sierra Shipman. She had 27 points. We had Jordan Bovey, Adeline Acker, she had 6. Jordan Bovey had 7. Lyric Nichols had 11. We had Bryn Sikora with 9. We had Alexa Weiner with 4. And Claire Hajdukovic had 4. 68-22 is your score.
Okay, and now we have game 2 of our doubleheader coming up in just a minute. You're going to have to sign out of YouTube and come back in when you see the game 2 is available, because we have a little bit of equipment to readjust so that we can bring you game 2, and we will do that right after this. You're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV will now have to leave the air briefly so we can reset our equipment to bring you Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Please close out of our channel on YouTube and come back in a few moments when you see that Game 2 is available. This is the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Make sure you come back real soon.